Hello from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rantin Randy's Rant for Saturday, my Friday. uh, I got two pieces of mail. One is a happy. I'll just tell you about that. Got a $50 check from an American family who I do business with for my car insurance. And then one envelope plainly says it's from the IRS. Inside that envelope is a letter from the White House about notice date was April 15th, 2020. I got Grace and I got our stimulus money on April 17th. I just looked back at where I keep my figures on running my bank total. It's not worth reading. This is totally political, including Donald J. Trump's signature. This is what is holding up people from getting their money. He has to make sure it has a notice number 1444 ENSP. So this is what's been holding things up. On the back side, it's in Spanish. I've already heard that IRS Managers Union was complaining when they found out he was going to take the memo line on the paper checks and sign his name on that. Now he's using the IRS for political reasons and sending out a notice to me about money that I got, and it gets here on the 25th of April. Stupid idiot. I also got some other news. And this is according, I had to Google this to find it out because I was curious about my brother-in-law works down at ConAgra. From where he lives, it's a good 40 something miles away. He works 6 days a week. This is April 17th, 20 tested positive at ConAgra. And it has shut down the plant temporarily in Marshall, Missouri, which is in Saline County. That's down close to Columbia, Missouri. And of course, locally, we're not hearing anything about that. In ConAgra, as far as I know, my brother-in-law is still working 6 days a week. Oh, he's killing it with overtime and stuff, but it's not worth his life. And I doubt they would even let anything out because I'm in Adair County. KTVO News will cover stuff in Macon County, which Macon is a part of. But I doubt they would go out of their way. They're a Sinclair station. I still haven't been able, because of the NFL draft, yesterday, we weren't able to view the 6 o'clock news that my mother-in-law claims they tell more about our area and coronavirus. So I hadn't been able to get to that. Let's see, what else? Oh, I wanted to tell people that Rantin Randy's Rants YouTube version has gained another subscriber. We're up to 144 subscribers now. So I gained one since the last time I did this. Oh, that's great news. Now that was on page 5. So I'm going to go back and we'll start through it from the beginning. I think I covered everything. And some of this stuff that I've been carrying around today may pop into my head at any time. Cuomo. he plainly said that Trump was not being sarcastic yesterday. Uh, Whenever he does something stupid, I put that in. Uh, well, actually, he said it because he said, "Did you see anyone laughing when he did that the other day?" No, because he wasn't being sarcastic. We all know it. And this is not the first time he's done it. Remember, several times he would like to be a president for a lifetime and then claim, oh, people were just taking it too seriously. I was being sarcastic. Uh huh. What pops out of your mouth is what you would like. You're so stupid you don't realize that you endangered lives. You've probably killed some people that didn't know any better. In fact, I just saw a thing that in New York, they've had a rise in people using things like that on their cells internally. Not to say companies had to come out after you were on a world stage telling people supposedly sarcastically your own medical people, because we can see and we could hear what Deborah Birch said, and it wasn't that you were being sarcastic to the reporters. That's a complete lie. And to top it off, in the Oval Office, when he told that whopper, behind him was my senator from Missouri, Roy Blunt, standing there. I guess it was because McConnell couldn't be there because Roy Blunt stays with McConnell up close enough where he can kiss him on the neck. Uh, Somebody seriously ought to look into, uh, is Donnie using a lead-based orange makeup? Maybe that explains what's wrong with him. Oh, shit. Uh, and Cuomo said that he needs to own uh, what he says and his base. We wouldn't forgive him, but he's never owned any stupid thing he's ever done, and he never will. Birch came out on Fox News that he was digesting the information in real time. I'm starting to question her. There's two different versions of the transcript from what she said while they were live there, and he was asking that stupid question of, yeah, stick a UV light up your butt. Uh, and she said, he actually said, really, he's thinking out loud on, or I said it, thinking out loud on a world stage. Uh, and then who does he blame? Fake news. And just looking at the shocked look on her face on one of the posts that I put out there, you can plainly see that she was starting to wonder, are you serious in what you're saying? And then he tries to turn it around. He meant on the outside, like on the hands. No, he didn't. That's not what he said. Uh, and Chris Cuomo interviewed Dr. Schaffner, uh, says we need more testing and a principled approach to reopening to the new normal, not the old normal. We're not going to have the old normal, not as long as this is out there and we don't have any kind of vaccine for it. We might as well get used to the fact that we're going to social distance. It has made a difference. It's not time to give it up. And what Kemp did is going to come back and bite him in the ass in a couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. Already, I saw on NBC News, since ABC News is still covering the NFL draft, uh, that barbers and salon workers and all of that are saying there's no way they can't have uh, contact with them. Just think about guys when you go for a haircut, they throw that towel around you. What are they going to do? Sanitize between each customer? I don't think so. That's dangerous. And they're going to find it out. Uh, Unlocking the economy, keys to reopening. First, testing. Uh, Trump falsely claims more testing than even the governors want. He said that in his pep rally. That's a false claim by the liar in the White House. National Governors Association Roadmap to Recovery. This was published on April 22nd, 2020. A public health guide for governors. Okay, here we go. Number 2, testing capacity is inadequate. Testing must be broadly expanded. Number 3, tracking or tracing. You've got to find out who they've been around. Response that is more rapid and more PPE equipment, or PPEs, they have to have more of it. All this you need before reopening. Georgia business owners are some questioning the quickness of what's going on. White House keeps promising more testings, and they've been saying that since March. Pence comes out there, and I don't know how many times, I think it was 3 or 4 times, he said there's more testing coming in the weeks ahead. They're not doing it. In the time that 5 million have been tested in this country of 300 million plus people. Trust is eroding around the country in cities. Hollow promises eroding trust. Wishing doesn't make it so. To make people more confident about going out to restaurants and other businesses. Protect your mental health. That was the next subject. During the pandemic, it's not easy to see your doctor now. Alcohol is flying off the shelves in record numbers now. That means there are people addicted to alcohol and to opioids and having to stay in. They're falling back on some old habits. And in most cases, they don't have anybody to talk to about it. And mental health facilities are having problems with enough staff, beds, and PPEs right now. And no one has been talking about that. They've been talking about the nursing homes where a good bill. Now they're talking about the meat packing plants, but nobody's been saying anything about the mental health facilities and the shortages they have. And on Rachel, one doctor talked about the toll it is taking on his colleagues compared to the HIV in the past 40 years. Only about 50 healthcare workers died from HIV after contracting HIV on the job. But if you look at the past few months of coronavirus epidemic, in the past few months, 9,200 healthcare workers have contracted coronavirus, and some of them have died. He went on to talk about colleagues that have died in the past few weeks, the fear that permeates these workers is sometimes overwhelming. It makes it hard to focus on the work because they can't process what's happening and do their work. California, where they had the first stay at home order, is flattening the curve because it started early. Their citizens don't want to hurry to reopen. That's California. They don't want to reopen too soon. ABC News. Large majority of Americans back coronavirus uh, restrictions, slower return to normal. Poll this week's poll, 72% believe moving too quickly to loosen the stay at home orders is a greater threat to the country than moving too slowly. 86% think social distancing and staying at home orders are responsible policies. 82% of Republicans align with the view that social distancing, stay at home orders are responsible and life saving actions. Americans get it. It's the administration that doesn't, and the damn stubborn ass Republican governors. Yet, the Republican governor is demanding to reopen now. Not all, but most of them. The ones in the Northeast are not calling for reopening right now.
Hi, Gracie.
All right, Gracie. She did that automatically without me telling her, didn't it? Wow. Let's see what I've got written on the side notes here. Yesterday's AC 360 briefings, Trump refused to comment on yesterday's remarks before briefing, tried to reposition everyone, the reporters in the room, including he wanted to put Caitlin Collins at the back of the room. The reporter that sat back there refused to do it, and they had already threatened Caitlin Collins with the Secret Service would make her do it. Nazi Germany. Damn. You've got to do what the president wants you to do. Let's see. And it only ended because that reporter said he would sit in the back, she could stay up front. And then he refused and shut down and walked out of the room. He didn't want to answer questions because he can't. And this is where I got into, I've already gone with page 5. This was the second hour. I haven't finished that. I haven't finished the very tail end of Rachel, and the last word I just couldn't get to when it got to be. I did stop and watch Bill Maher last night. A very good show. But that kind of material I can use later on and still go backwards through here. I think I have some more stuff. Before I let you go and get back to, that's page 5. So we already did that one. Page 1. I've already done that one. Wow. I'm ahead of schedule here. Wow. I can't believe this, people. I've actually gotten it all done rather quickly. But I think the biggest point here is everything he's done, he turns it into politics. And We all know what he does. He blames Obama, whatever. People at the IRS are not happy. The managers are not happy. Their union is not happy. They do not like to be turned into politics. Everything he does, I can guarantee you, if you ever finally get your Social Security and SSI or SSDI, uh, economic recovery checks, uh, you will have a follow-up letter from Social Security Administration. It will have a White House letter in it and him signing the damn letter. He's screwed up this country so badly with all his bullshit in 3+ years. What would happen if he was in for 8? Full-fledged king, dictator. He won't let go of this country. I still believe what Bill Maher does. If we can beat him in an election, he ain't leaving on January 21st. It'll take the U.S. Army or armed forces to go in and get him out of the White House, which I have every confidence. That's another thing I wanted to mention. We all know about the SS Theodore Roosevelt and the rise in the cases on that ship. The USS Kidd has now gotten positive cases of coronavirus on board that ship. It doesn't get any better. It's just going to get worse because we've got a clown that's an idiot in the White House. A fucking moron. All right. I'm going to let you go at this time. I want to say hello to everybody. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Lou. Hello, Carol. Hello, Bernadette. There you go, Bernadette. Oh, I'm going to get me a long sewing needle and put it up his ass. Then we'll put some bleach. It's unbelievable. And just imagine the mentally ill that saw him say that. I bet you anything he has already cost lives now. And of course, he'll claim it wasn't his fault. Whose fault is it, Donnie? You said it. You denied it. Well, we all know you're a damn liar. You've been told over 20,000 lies, and people are still believing you. Like I was saying earlier today, this is a cult following. Fortunately for us, the low-hanging fruit are only about 1% of this country. He's not going to win any kind of election. And even though, and I heard this on Rachel, even though he thinks he's going to shut down the border, that's a little more difficult than he has the current power to do. Another thing is, what was the other thing that doesn't have any teeth that he's trying to do? Oh, hell, don't fail me now, memory. Like I said, I was up to 2:30. I got up about 8:30 this morning. You watch. I'll get off of here and it'll come to me. Besides, you people are smart enough. You're up on this. You know what's going on. In some cases, I'm hearing a lot of it from you to keep me updated. That's what I love about this family. This I do for the Blue Dot family. Anything that is given to me goes to paying the bills. I'm not out here to make money. And I believe all of you know that. That's not what I'm about. That's not what the Blue Dot family is about. I will put out a couple of my things. I don't think I have to run the one on the P.O. box. It's probably still floating around in the public in the news feed and on my wall. I will put out the one PayPal me / Randall Curvin, capital caps on the names. Uh, it's just help keep me going because this stimulus money, we got screwed over this, and it's not going to last forever. Uh, for example, we get SSDI for Grace, and I get Social Security retirement. It took all but $100 and something just before this came into the 17th. That we were down to under $200 paying off the bills, and so it came at the right time. But like all of you are going to find out, it's not going to last long, and we're going to spend it wisely. I love this family, and I know that people in this family will do the right thing. They will catch up their rent. They will catch up their mortgages if they can. That's the hard part. Or the mortgages are more expensive than the rent that I pay. But I got my rent caught up and done a lot of things. I'm still going to get my car fixed on Monday. So I may have to run a bit late on Monday's rant because I'm going to get over there. I'm going to have to decide whether I'm going to sit there and wait on the car or take a cab home, have them call me, and I'll take a cab back. I don't want to be sitting in a little office unless they are observing social distancing. And I can't very well sit there for 2 or 3 hours with a mask on. Uh, it's nice protection. Uh, and that's rather a small office. So, I'll just have to think it over uh, right before I get there and find out how much time they're going to estimate to get it done. Because I'm hoping I'll get an oil change, I'll get a tune up, I'll get a windshield wiper. Now, get this, I cleaned all that heavy snow off. There hadn't been any snow since. And then I found out in the rain yesterday that the right hand blade has come apart again. And that'll make the third or fourth time this winter I've had to replace the right. Uh, they do it in pairs. So it means a whole set again of windshield wipers. All right, I'll let you go. I've done enough bitching for right now. Uh, and keep in mind, I understand people are in a hard situation. Uh, and I don't see that it's going to get any better because I'm afraid what's going to happen with all this rush to reopen, there's going to be a resurgence in coronavirus. They all knew, some of the damn dumbass governors. I can't believe what they say. Like, they know that the deaths are going to rise and cases will rise. They don't give a shit. They're getting pressure from the business community. They got to make them happy rather than you stay healthy. All right, that's one party we had to send home in 2020. We can't put up with this anymore. They're now costing lives because of their stupidity to follow this cult leader, this dictator in the White House. In 2020, we've got to send home McConnell, we've got to send home Lindsey Graham, and many others in that stupid Republican Party, like, uh, what's his name? Rubio. His ass needs to go home because all he does is lick Donnie's butt. All right. We'll get rid of the ass kissers and get rid of the orange virus, which probably has lead based makeup on, and we can have a better future. I would feel a lot safer under someone like Joe Biden as president to try to handle this because it's probably going to be left still going on when we elect him president of the United States. Uh, at this point, I'll just let you go. Um, I feel the love and been told how much I am loved by this family, and I'm not about to go away. Uh, the only thing that will take me out is coronavirus, and that ain't going to happen to me because we're doing the right thing, limiting our trips, staying at home as much as we possibly can, and that's for the foreseeable future. That's the new normal in this country. Have a good one, and I'll leave you with peace. Resist, persist, and insist. We get this damn dumbass out of the White House with all his ass kissing friends making money with this fascist government. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Share this shit. Get it out there. Have a good one. Bye bye.